Iraq's demographics may be changed forever, even after the defeat of ISIS. One America's Kendra Sitton has more on why many Christians are not returning to their ancient homelands.
Many Christians in Iraq are not returning home despite the defeat of ISIS. For instance, in the town of Bartella, the entire population fled when ISIS invaded in 2014. At the time, the town was evenly split between Christians and a Shiite ethnic group known as Shabak. But since the militants' defeat, less than 4,000 Christian families have returned to their historic homeland.
The Christian is the weakest link in the Iraqi society. Any pressure or any breakage will always affect the weakest link in a chain, and because of that, there is a fear of the future, of the unknown. When there is stability and there is a law in the land, I think a lot of families would come back.
But even before ISIS, the population of Christians in Iraq was dwindling. Saddam Hussein nationalized farmland owned by Christians to give to families of soldiers killed in the Iran-Iraq War 30 years ago. And a similar policy was pursued when the U.S. invaded in 2003.
Unfortunately, everyone thinks that ISIS was the biggest and only obstacle against the Christian presence in their ancestral land, but that is not the case. We've suffered from forced displacement from the 80s.
1 million Christians lived in the country in 2003, but attacks from al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups have driven the population down, so only a fraction remains. Many fled to the autonomous Kurdish region where they face less persecution and have yet to return. Many do not believe they would be secure, as independent police forces led by Christians have been replaced by other groups filled with Shabak people. Some Christians worry the new Shia security forces in their towns are just as extreme as the terrorist groups they fled from.
Since the liberation of the Nineveh plains and the return of the families to the Nineveh, we suffered harassment from certain parties that rule the area, especially women. They were harassed from them, and even some children suffered from these issues.
There has also been gunfire outside churches and more land grabs, that many see as a way to intimidate Christians.
I feel like because I'm a Christian, he assaulted me so that they can scare us to leave Bartella.
While there are calls for more aid and political representation for Christians in Iraq, the Christian population is wary to return in case history repeats itself. Kendra Sitton, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.